Hi everyone, and welcome to Andy's Rebuilds. After watching one too many YouTube videos, I found myself thinking, I can do that. And just like that, I did. I signed up for a Copart account and that was the start of it. Easter 2024, I bought my first salvage car, a Cat N Fiat 500. Nothing too expensive or complicated. A quick bumper fix and a good clean, and then I sold it for a small profit. To be honest, I'm not really in it for the profit, but it was a nice feeling. My son was turning 17 in October, and an unrecorded Fiat 500 by diesel appeared. And once again, a quick clean up, a CarPlay system fitted, and his learner car became a reality. And that was the end of 2024. We've had a few electric cars over the years, and once he passed his test, I found a badly repaired 2022 plate Fiat 500e on Facebook, but the seller just wasn't responding to messages, and then bizarrely the car turned up at Copart. I ended up winning it for 3k less than I was prepared to pay him for it if he'd answered his ads. His loss, my gain. I sorted out the poor mechanical repair and sent it off to Hardy's Bodyworks in Bletchley to get the paintwork sorted, and it now looks amazing. The Fiat 500 by diesel got sold for a pretty good profit, and I began thinking, what next? And then something happened. An Abarth 500e Scorpionissima turned up on Copart. My wife already has the convertible version and we love it, so I knew straight away I was going to be bidding on it. Looking at the photos, you can see it took a pretty good hit. Way bigger than anything I'd ever dealt with. I knew it was going to be way out of my comfort zone, but in a dealership these things were on sale for around 23 grand. I made some guesses on what I'd need to fix it, and I spoke to my friendly body shop for their advice. They said no, but you know, the project was definitely on. Finally, auction day came, and I ended up winning on approval in the end for 3.8k. They came back asking for 5 grand, but I stood my ground and was shocked when the following morning they accepted my bid. I arranged the collection and then I got it home in my garage, and that's when the "what have I done" panic hit me. In the flesh it looked really messed up, and it took me a week to get over the shock before I'd even picked up a tool. But my mate Nick came over to have a laugh, to come and see the car of course. He lent a hand and the first nut was cracked. Bonnet off, bumper, rad pack removed, and then I could really begin to see what was going on behind the panels. The car had taken a massive hit to the front, but I got lucky. Although the chassis leg had crumbled how it was supposed to, the main structure had stayed where it was supposed to be. Now call me strange, but I gave it a wash anyway. It was nice and clean and shiny and tidy. It just made me feel better when I looked at the rest of the car. The near side chassis leg had obviously taken a bit of a battering, and we'll come on to that later in the video. But as you can see, it had done its job exactly what it was supposed to. The near side shock, drop link, lower arm didn't survive so well, and a few new parts needed to be ordered. I needed to get that done so I could get it onto its own wheels again. So now I knew what the damage was and what I needed to source, order, replace, or just generally get help with, it was time to start getting this thing back together. The first bit back on was the rad frame, and whilst I didn't have the rad, the AC condenser, the cooling fan, just by getting it on gave me the confidence that the front was still straight. That was confirmed because all the bolt holes all lined up and I was unable to get it back together without having to bend anything into a different place. I'd found a second-hand bumper and set about recovering the bumper loom, parking sensors, etc. off of what was left of the original. There wasn't much left of the original, and transferring it over. As you can see, it was all fairly easy and I went straight into a test fit. I remember putting that on the car, everything lining up and just feeling massively relieved, a huge sense of excitement, and I've got this, I'm actually going to do it. I also found a set of second-hand headlamps, so I tried them too, and everything was just such a good fit. All the while that was going on, I'd been patiently waiting for Abarth to deliver the much needed suspension components. They finally arrived, and within a couple of hours, the shock was on, drop link was on, everything was back together. I even got the wheel back on, and finally the Abarth was back on its own four wheels. I tried pushing it, it didn't move very much. These are heavy cars, I couldn't believe how heavy. As you probably guessed, I took quite a few photos all the way through this process, but these were for me as a record of what I'd done and where things had come from. It had also taken what felt like an eternity for me to source the crash bars, the radiator, the cooling fan, AC condenser. I ended up eventually finding a dealer with a mixture of new and used genuine parts that I could get hold of. The only issue was they were in Italy, so I had a bit of a wait to get them delivered, but the price was good, so the deal was done. The front end had to come apart again so that I could fit them, but whilst I waited for the courier to arrive, I got it all stripped apart. Again, alignment was confirmed when the crash bars all went straight on. Everything just lined up so well. So now I just needed the last bit of panel work, and I decided that the quickest, easiest, simplest way was going to be a new wing. So I ordered yet another part from Abarth. I'd done pretty much as I could, and whilst I'm all for giving things a go, there were certain elements I wasn't happy to try. A massive shout out to Express Windscreens based in Witney. By far the best price I could manage to find, and very quick, like they came the next day. The guys turned up and they were just brilliant. In no time at all, the old screen was out and the new one perfectly installed. It was so good, it really started to look like it was coming together, and starting to believe that it was going to end up looking as good as new. Which brings us to the airbags. I can't believe that at one point I actually contemplated having a go at this myself. I'm glad I decided against it, and I reached out to Airbag Service UK based in Bolton. They were brilliant. Having seen the process, I can say with a fair degree of certainty I will never ever try to do a dashboard swap myself. Ever. Oh my god, so many bolts, screws, wires. I just know I would never have even got this back where it was supposed to be, even if I'd managed to get it out. And then it was time, the moment of truth. With the front end rebuilt, coolant added, airbags all done, I could safely plug in the diagnostic tool and set about bringing this thing back to life. I'd bought my own diagnostic tool, the ThinkScan 689BT if anyone's interested. It was bloody brilliant, really easy to use and all the functionality I needed. Literally within 30 minutes, everything in the car was back online. The car actually went into ready mode and, more importantly, both drive and reverse. So that was that. I cannot explain how good it felt to actually reverse the car out of the garage under its own power, to be able to turn it around and then reverse it back up the drive. Not huge, one small step and all that, but it was such a sense of achievement. I had such a buzz. But basically that was me done. for the time being. A couple of days later, loaded onto a trailer late at night and taken to someone who knows what they're doing when it comes to sorting out that compressed chassis leg and getting the car painted. The biggest thanks of all to the guys at Hardy's Bodyworks in Bletchley. Hardy, Sadiq, Bogdan, absolutely amazing. They know their stuff. Cutting off that chassis leg and re-welding it and making it look like it had never actually been touched is a real talent. So thank you to all of you. You've just made this possible. Of course, I know it meant that you had to take off all the parts I'd test fitted, do the repair, then refit everything, and then paint it. At the same time, thank you. They took all the photos that you're seeing now, which was the process, so that I had that record of it as well, and enabled me to create videos like this. It wasn't the first work they've done for me, and it certainly won't be the last. I really cannot thank these guys enough. If you need any bodywork done, give them a call. So there you have it. Mechanicals done, bodywork done, interior done, glass done, MOT'd, re-registered, insured, taxed and road legal. I just love this car and it won't be getting sold anytime soon. And if you're still with me this far into the video, thank you so much for watching. The support and the comments I've received from all over the world through this process have been absolutely unbelievable and often a real help. So if you want to keep seeing what's coming, there will be others. Please like, follow, subscribe. Your support keeps me going. Thank you.